Good day everyone. For today's video, let us study together about Roman numbers. What are Roman numbers? These are a numerical system originated in ancient Rome and remain the usual way of writing numbers. Numbers in this system is represented by combinations of letters from the Latin alphabet. So when we say Roman numbers, it uses letters from the alphabet. What are Hindu-Arabic numbers? Okay, are defined as a number system on the symbols of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. An example of Hindu-Arabic numerals is an ancient system counting of India. We have our Roman numbers. Okay, we use this symbol to write Roman numbers. We have our I for 1, and then V for 5, X for 10, and then letter L for 50, letter C for 100, letter D for 500, letter M for 1000. So these are the corresponding value for each Roman numerals. So we have here 1 to 1000. Okay. How do we find the value of a Roman number? Okay, saan mo na ito pagpangita sa value sa mga Roman numbers? Okay, to find the value of a Roman number, we either add or subtract. Okay, atong dumduman, it's either mo plasta or mo subtract. Okay. Add if the symbols are repeated. So if the symbols are repeated or gibalik-balik, we are going to add the symbols. So these are the only symbols that can be repeated. I, X, C, and M may be repeated not more than 3 times. Okay, kapila ra nato pwede ma-repeat ni nga mga symbols? 3 times. For example, okay, we have here triple X or tulo ka X. What is the value of X? Okay, it is 10. So 10 plus 10 plus 10 equals 30. So the value of this triple X or tulo ka X is 30. Another example, we have here M and M, duha ka M. So what is the value of M? 1000. So 1000 plus 1000 equals 2000. So the value of 2 M's is equal to 2000. Next, add if the value of the symbols that follow is of lesser value. So, kung ang nag-una gani is dako, unyang nagsunod gamay, then we are going to add the value of that symbols. Example, X and V. So, mas dako ang X kay 10 man, and then ang nagsunod is lesser value, which is 5. So, sa may buhato nato with these symbols, atong i-add. So, we have X, which is 10, and then V, which is 5. Adding these symbols, 10 plus 5 equals 15. So, what is the value of X and V? It is 15. Okay, next, L and X. What is the value of L? 50. What is the value of X? 10. So, what are we going to do if the symbol that follow is lesser? we are going to add. So we will add 50 plus 10 equals 60. So the value of LX is equal to 60. So unsay buhato nato? Kung ang nagsunod nga symbol is gamay nga value, we will have to add. Okay, subtract if the value of the symbols that follows is of greater value. So kung ang nagsunod is mas dako, we will have to subtract. Examples. Okay, we have our I and V. So, ang nagsunod is mas dako kay ang I is 1 and then ang V is 5. So, we will subtract 5 minus 1. So, the value for I and V is 4. Next example, XL. So, L is greater than X. So, we will also subtract. We have here, ang X is 10, and then ang L is 50. So, we will subtract 50 minus 10 equals 40. So, the value of X and L is 40. You understand? Unsay buhato nato? If the value that follows the symbol is greater value, we will subtract atong minuson. Number 4, add and subtract to get the value of some symbols. So, if the symbols is a combination of mga values, we will have to add and subtract. Nagsagol na, either nauna ang dako or nagsunod ang gamay, gisunda na pug dako. So, unsay atong buhaton, we will add and subtract to get the value of some symbols. Examples. X, I, and V. So, ang nag-una is X. Follows the smaller value. But, di aman po'y nagsunod nga greater value. So, what are we going to do? X is for 10. And then, V and I. So, we will have to subtract 5 minus 1. Okay. So, we have here 10X and then 5 minus 1 equals 4. The value is equal to 14. So, X, I, V equals 14. I is the only symbol that can be written before V and X. So, it can be written this way. Okay, this is read as 4 and 9. This is 5 minus 1, 4, and this is 10 minus 1, 9. So this is, the value of this is 4 and this one is 9. Another rule is that V, L, and D are never written before symbols of greater value. So, kani siya mga letters, letter V, letter L, and letter D, dili ni nato siya isuwat before symbols of greater value. Okay. For example, greater value than V, X, 10. So, do not write V. Only I. And then L. For example, L, ang iyang greater value is D. So, do not write L before D. Okay. That is V, L, and D never written before symbols of greater value. Okay, next. X is the only symbol that can be written before L and C. Okay, unsa ray atong masuwat before sa L og C? Letter X. Okay, letter X. Ang ma-write nato sa V ug sa letter X is I. Ang masuwat po nato before sa letter L o letter C is only X. Okay, always remember, ang mauna ra jud sa L o sa C is X. Okay. We have XL o XC. So, XL that is 40, and XC is 90. Okay. Next, C is the only symbol that can be written before D and M. So, ang masuwat ra pud nato before sa letter D is letter C, and then sa M pod is letter C. D, CD equals 400 because D is 500, and then before C, so we will have to subtract minus 100, it is 400, and then CM is equal to 900 because we are also going to subtract since letter C is lesser than M. Okay. Next, tell whether the value of the symbols are to be added or subtracted. Okay, nakasabot naman mo no. Kung kanus ata mo add o kanus ata mo subtract. Okay, now you are going to tell me the value of the symbols, if it is to be added or to be subtracted. And then you explain why. Okay, we have our number 1. C, C, and C, triple C. What are we going to do? Since this is repeated, what are we going to do? We are going to add. Okay. Ngadto sa rule, we are going to add if the symbols are repeated. Kapila ma-repeat? 3 times. Okay, next, number 2. XL. Okay, XL. Look at. Unsay nag-una? X. Ang nagsunod, L. So, what is, how are we going to get the value? Okay, we will subtract. Why? If the value of the symbol that follows is a greater value, we will subtract. Okay, next, CL. What is the value of C? 100. The value of L? 50. So, if the values that follows the symbol is lesser than, what are we going to do? We will add. Okay, very good. Add if the value of the symbols that follows is of lesser value. Okay, next. X, V, I, and I. What are we going to do? Okay, add if the value of the symbols that follow is of lesser value. Okay, X is greater than V and V is greater than I. So that is why we added these symbols. Okay, next, CM. Okay, what is the value of C? 100. M, 1000. So, if the values that follow is greater than, what are we going to do? We will subtract. Very good. Subtract if the value of the symbols that follows is of greater value. Okay. Karon mga bata, give the value of each Roman number. Kaya itong ihatag kung pila ang value sa mga Roman numbers. Okay, we have X, I, and V. Pila may value ana? Pila mang ang X? 10. I and V. What are we going to do to get the value of some numbers? We have either add or subtract. So, 10, which is the value of X, plus 5 minus 1, which is 4. So, what is the value? 14. Very good. Next, triple X, I, X. What is the value of that Roman number? So, we have 10 plus 10 plus 10. Then, we have her IX. Unsay buhato nato? If the number that follows is greater than, we will have to subtract. So, subtract 10 minus 1 equals 30, equals 9. Then, plus 30 equals 39. 9. So the value for this Roman number is 39. Okay. Are you following me? Number 3, mga bata. LVI. So, what is the value of L? 50. What is the value of V? 5. How about I? 1. So, adding all these symbols, we have 50 plus 5 plus I equals 56. Correct. Next, CMII. What is the value of C? 100. The value of M? 1000. So, if the number that follows the symbol is greater than, what are we going to do? Subtract. So, we have our 1000 minus 100. What is the answer? 900. Plus I1 plus another I1. So, the value for this Roman number is 902. Very good. Next, XCVI. Okay, we have X is 10 and then C is 100. So, what are we going to do if the symbol that follows is greater than? We are going to subtract. So, 100 minus 10 equals pila? 90. Plus 5, which is V, and then 1, which is the I. So, what is the value for this symbol? 96. Okay, very good. Write in Hindu-Arabic numbers. ML. Okay, M is 1000, L is 50. So, what is the value of that? 1050. Number 2, XLIX. What is the value? Okay, 49. How about that? Okay, we have our 100 plus 100 plus 100 is 300. Plus X, which is 10, and then IX, which is 9. The value is, adding all that value, 390. Next, MCLX. M, 1000. C, 100. L, 50. X, 10. Adding all those symbols, adding all the values, we have 1160. Okay, next, MMCM. Okay, what is the value of M? 1000. Okay, 1000 plus 1000 plus CM. We are going to subtract since the values that follow is greater than C. So, 1000 minus 100 equals 900. So, the value for this is 2900. Okay, very good. Thank you for watching. Good day, everyone. Hope you have learned from this video.